This week's show is made possible by SaveOnCompression.com, the premier online store for compression socks and sleeves for even the most demanding endurance athlete. Stay tuned for later in the show on details how you can win a couple pairs of your own compression sleeves from SaveOnCompression.com. In this week's show, sports and triathlon transcend life, the triathlon product giveaway, and going out on a limb. Hello and welcome to this week's show. My name is Ruben Austria, founder of Triathlon, a community of inspired triathletes inspiring others. This week's show is going to be great. This week's quote: sports is life in microcosm. Well, what does that mean? Well, I'm going to spend a whole show talking about that. It's going to be a great show. There's a lot going on with Triathlon. It's growing. Podcast is up and available on iTunes. Make sure you download and subscribe to it. Give us a vote. It's only going up. Things are going very well, and thank you for your support. And let's get on with the show. Well, you might hear a lot about things, a lot of things about things transcending life, and you could probably Google blank transcends life, and you'll get something. But I really want to talk about sports and the role that it plays in everyday life. Because really, what would we have without sports? I was inspired to do this episode and talk about this topic after watching a really good movie, I thought, called Invictus with Morgan Freeman and Matt Damon. And basically, the premise of the story is how Morgan Freeman, who played Nelson Mandela, inspired South Africa into uniting as one through the sport of rugby. So he inspires Matt Damon, the captain of the South African rugby team, into basically winning the World Cup of rugby. I mean, I don't want to spoil it for you. I mean, maybe you already know the story, but it's worth watching the movie anyway. But it's just amazing how much sports inspires us, and how much of sports is actually a part of our lives. It's amazing how a game can inspire a country. My fellow Filipino Manny Pacquiao, imagine what this guy does for the country of the Philippines. It is unbelievable. This guy is, it's funny, everyone jokes about how he's going to run for president one day, and honestly, I wouldn't doubt it. With the popularity that he has, with as much admiration that the country shows for him, just because he's a good boxer. And I'm not trying to take away anything from who he is and everything else he is other than being a boxer, but that obviously is his claim to fame. And look at how a country responds to that, and a whole nation. And there are millions of other examples of how sport does this and transcends life, and it's just such woven into what we do. That first portion I wanted to categorize into what I would call spectator sports, or maybe non-endurance sports. Now, how triathlon specifically, but also endurance sports, how these sports transcend life, if you will, is much in a similar way, but very much so individually. I saw this story about someone who had AIDS and basically had no immune system, and basically he wanted to do an Ironman, against all odds and even the recommendation of his doctor. He does this Ironman, and all of a sudden now he is healthier. They can't even discover AIDS in his body anymore. And now he's an activist for AIDS and people with AIDS, in order to help get rid of this disease. Obviously, the endurance, and the word endurance is endure. And it's not surprising that you see a lot of these stories where people, come from nothing, or come from terminal illness, or come from having battled, being in a car accident and severely handicapped, and doing a triathlon, or doing a marathon, or doing whatever it is, a long distance endurance event. By that time, they're just amazing themselves on how much they can actually accomplish, and then they take this into their own lives and maybe start a business and actually do something that they've been wanting to do, rather than the job that they've been doing for the past 20 years from 9 to 5, just looking forward to retirement. For me personally, triathlon has actually helped me put a lot of things in perspective in my life, because I'm a business owner myself. I'm in real estate. From the work ethic and the hard work that I have to put in to be a triathlete and to train for an Ironman, it actually helps me not just a better businessman or entrepreneur, like I said, but even being a better person. I encourage you to go up on Triathlon, sign up, become a member, join a community, and start trying. And you'll see for yourself how triathlon can transcend your own life. So this week I'm very excited because I'm going to start doing triathlon product giveaways courtesy of our sponsors. And how that is going to work is that we get a sponsor, they provide us product, I go on the show and I tell you how you can win it. It's easy as that. So this week's sponsor is SaveOnCompression.com, the premier online store for compression socks and sleeves for even the most demanding endurance triathlete. So this is how the Triumph product giveaways are going to work. First thing you'll need to do is make sure you have a username and password to the TriumphTriathlon.com. After you set up a username and password, all you have to do is answer the question that I ask, post it on TriumphTriathlon.com, and post a link on the show notes below. And the winner is decided by whoever has the most likes on their post regarding this product giveaway. This week we'll be giving away 2 pairs of compression sleeves from SaveOnCompression.com. So this is the question I want to ask you, our viewers. How has triathlon helped you perform under pressure? Triathlon transcends life. Hey, you never know, you could win free product. This week's triathlete of the week is Jason Bahamundi. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Jason has actually been a member of Triumph Triathlon, but before becoming a member of Triumph Triathlon, he started his own blog, and now he's posting on TriumphTriathlon.com, which is totally fine. Jason also posted a great blog post on TriumphTriathlon.com called "Going Out on a Limb for Someone." Going out on a limb means being a leader to someone, inspiring someone, motivating someone, and believing in someone. Now, every time I hear that expression, I'm going to think of Jason. It's unbelievable how inspiring he is on his blog, and even on some of the videos that I've seen of him. Jason also volunteers as a running coach for a company or organization called Marathon Makeover, which basically helps people start from being a couch potato to completing their first marathon. Obviously, he's a triathlete, inspiring others, so Jason is our triathlete of the week. Congratulations, Jason. That's it for this week's show. Just to give you a little update on my Ironman training, I actually went to Vermont this past weekend for Martin Luther King weekend. There's actually a picture of the group I was with while I was out there in Vermont, and it was just a great time. Met a lot of great new friends, and if you've never been cross-country skiing, I highly recommend it. Much safer than downhill skiing. I'm definitely putting that off until after my Ironman. And that's it. Triumph Triathlon's growing, communities are growing. Check it out. If you don't already have a username and password, please register. Start blogging with us. Start blogging with the community. Be an inspiring triathlete and inspire others. Until next week, from Ruben, Austria. Make it a great day.